I guess it could have been worse, But the point is to know Him, to know Jesus, to have a closer walk with Him. Are we willing to do that as a church? In whatever way God leads us. Sometimes we can get discouraged when we think about following the Lord because we think, God, what if God asked me to do something that I can't do? Or what if God calls me to walk through a valley that I'm afraid to walk through? Those are the things that can go on in our soul. And that's flesh too. It doesn't matter if there's tears with it. It's still flesh. To think that God would lead you into a place where He would forsake you is wrong. That's a deception of the enemy. There was even times when, I heard of a young man. He was a new Christian. He said, I don't even want to say that I wouldn't go into the foreign mission field because God might ask me to do it. You ever heard somebody say, I'll never do that? Don't say never. God might make you eat your words. He didn't even want to even think of it because God might make him do it. We don't have to be afraid of following God. Some people say the more I follow God, man, He's going to lead me through trials. God is going to beat me up. So what's your alternative? Let the world beat you up. Right? You're going to get beat up. It's just a matter of who does it. Believe me though, any day, put yourself into the hands of God than in the hands of man. Remember, David had that decision to make when he had sinned, and God said, hey, here's 3 options. A, B, and C. Which option do you want? And one of them was to let the enemies subdue them for a time. David said, hey, I'm not going to put myself in the hands of man, but I will put myself under God's mighty hand. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, and that mighty hand will lift you up. That same hand, if you're proud, it will resist you. Right? So humble yourself, and God will lift you up. And that's a dying, isn't it? Humility is hard. Walking in meekness and humility. And it's not some super spiritual woo-woo thing. Humility is just saying, God, I'm going to obey your word. God, your word says, husbands, love your wives. I'm going to do it, God. I'm going to do it. Lord, I need your help. And God says, my grace is sufficient for you. My grace is sufficient for you. Anything else is an excuse. And we're masters at it. Excuse why we can't follow God, why we can't do what He says to do. So, but this revelation that Paul prayed for them, that they would know Him. I think I'm going to stop there tonight. I would like to have time of prayer just as a congregation. And what I want to do is just, prayer is not something that it seems to come at the end, but it's 8:20. I wanted to let ourselves have a time just to seek the Lord as a church, wait upon Him. If you have a prayer that you want to pray out, you can. And so just wait on Him. Amen.